Hush, look.
Arthur lived all his life without remembering himself.
I was abducted by aliens as a child.
He felt his soul reaching out to Alice.
It takes practice to learn to control your sexual energy.
He felt energized and invigorated.
What is true Tantra, and how is it different from sex? How to meet your soulmate, your divine partner. Encounter with extraterrestrials. How to get in contact with them. How do black magicians control the earth? The main weapon of the dark powers. How to deal with any life difficulties. Awakening hidden abilities and understanding the higher laws of the universe. The method of realizing any desire. Eco-village and the space of love. The ancient pagan wedding ritual and conception at the place of power. What a proper wedding should be like for a happy married life. You will find answers to all these questions in the new cartoon, Mystery, an Untold Story of Love. Here is everything you have been looking for.
Alice called Arthur early in the morning.
Hi, honey. I'm going hiking with Liriya. Will you come with me?
Yes, of course, my love. I am ready to follow you to the edge of the world. Hello, Russ. Alice and I are going camping. Why don't you come with us and take Angela? Gathering at a designated spot at the beginning of a mountain trail that could only be traveled on foot or horseback, they waited for several other couples for Lyra. She appeared a few minutes later.
Greetings to you. My dear ones, we are going to practice Tantra right now, trying to be conscious in every action. Now, we have a long hike on a mountain road, and I give you the task not to be distracted by thoughts and empty conversations, but to contemplate the beauty of the surrounding places. Please take this difficult practice responsibly and seriously.
Oh, nothing could be easier. Arthur began to contemplate the nature with enthusiasm. He admired the snow-white mountain peaks in the distance, the mountain river flowing in the gorge below, the clouds floating in the sky, and the rhododendron bushes blooming on either side of the path. But very soon, he forgot himself and was about to start chatting with Alice. Alice!
Shh.
But she shushed him, and then he remembered what he wanted to contemplate. Arthur was surprised at how difficult it was for him to just look around without going into his thoughts. He kept forgetting that he had decided to do so and couldn't think of it without Lyra reminding him. So that's why I remember so little of my life. After all, I sleep all the time. What can I accomplish if I can't even do such a simple task? By evening, they reached a mountain lake of amazing beauty, surrounded on three sides by snow-capped mountain peaks. Its crystal ice-cold water reflected the tall fir trees growing along its shores. From one of the slopes, a bubbling waterfall fell into the lake in the distance, and right next to the travelers, a swift mountain stream rushed noisily down the rocks from the lake.
Now we will set up camp as consciously as you were before. Talk to each other only for business. You are to pitch your tents, gather firewood, draw water from the spring. And while you are doing this, observe your body movements, your thoughts and emotions. Don't lose your awareness. And to help you, I will sometimes say stop. Then, you will need to freeze in place and not move for a while. This will help you remember the task at hand.
Everyone readily began to settle in, trying not to fall asleep in their thoughts. When they heard the
Stop.
they froze, and their gazes immediately became clearer, more focused. Arthur froze too, keeping the same expression on his face, the direction of his gaze, his posture, feeling his breath. He was suddenly surprised to find that he had lived all his life without remembering himself, without seeing or realizing that he was doing everything completely mechanically, like a robot, without being aware of his thoughts and movements. In the evening, when it was dark, they all sat around a cozy, crackling fire. Lyra explained briefly how to eat properly.
Eat slowly, savoring the flavor of the food.
Silently, after the prayer, they began to eat, savoring the taste of the food and chewing it thoroughly. Arthur realized that even though he considered himself a cultured man, he ate like an animal, indiscriminately shoving hot dogs and fast food into his body, undermining his health, and not understanding what he was doing and how he was eating. After dinner, the guys and girls started singing songs and telling interesting stories. Suddenly, someone pointed up into the sky, and, looking up, everyone froze in amazement. Right above their heads, a real UFO was moving across the dark sky. The flying saucer stopped, hovered above them, and a few seconds later, it swerved and veered sharply in a left, moving away from its previous trajectory.
And I was abducted by aliens as a child. And after that, I began to see the auras of people and objects.
A mystical, mysterious atmosphere was created around the campfire. Garlands of stars dotted the skies. Fireflies flew around, cicadas crackled, and a warm, fresh wind blew. The big, round moon looked majestically at the people, illuminating the space with a mysterious, cold light. After admiring this splendor, Arthur and Alice went to their tent to sleep.
Darling, today you and I are going to practice mate kuna. But don't be in a hurry, because sex should also be a spiritual practice.
Arthur looked at his beloved with tenderness and awe, feeling the passion inside, as a powerful flow of sexual energy was coming from the girl. But this passion was not like what he had felt before with other girls. It was backed up by a deep feeling. He felt his soul reaching out to Alice. He felt that everything would be different with this girl. Every minute with her was filled with meaning. Arthur knew that he would remember this night for the rest of his life. Alice woke up in the morning and didn't find Arthur near her, and she came out of the tent. The sun had not yet risen from the horizon, and there was a thick, milky white mist in the lowlands surrounding the mountain slopes. She found Arthur sitting on a bank in a very depressed state.
Honey, are you feeling bad?
The boy raised his head and looked at his beloved with unspeakable pain. Their gazes met, and Alice could almost physically feel his regret, his anger at himself, and his guilt.
I've spoiled everything. Forgive me, my love, if you can. I shouldn't have. I couldn't control myself. I lost my head and allowed such a stupid drain of sexual energy.
Don't worry so much, honey. Yes, you had an orgasm. And, as a tantric, you shouldn't have let it happen. But you are just beginning to learn Tantra. It takes practice to learn to control your sexual energy.
So you are not angry with me for what happened?
Of course not, sweetheart. It's hard enough to do it right the first time, but we'll do the ritual of Mate Kuna again when you're ready and can control your energy better.
Arthur smiled back, and in his gaze his admiration for this girl, tenderness, and sincere reverent love shone with renewed vigor.
And what did you feel after the orgasm?
Emptiness and weakness. It was a very strong drain of energy. I even felt for a moment that my feelings for you were dulled. There was so much indifference, so much apathy. It was unpleasant, and I just wanted to turn away and fall asleep.
I understood your feelings, my love. That's why we learn to manage our sexual energy, to restrain ourselves and control its flows. The main thing is that you should draw the necessary conclusions from this experience.
You know, I suddenly realized that all my feelings, emotions, experiences are based on unrealized sexual energy, and without it they are immediately dulled, and there is only indifference and pain in the lower abdomen from de-energization.
That's a very valuable conclusion. So, you didn't live yesterday's experience in vain. Would you like to go for a swim? The cold water of this lake at the place of power would help to cheer up and cleanse yourself of negative impressions.
The boy got up from the ground, threw off his clothes, and slowly entered the scalding cold water. He was floating in the fog, in a peculiar state. It seemed to him that right now he was in some unearthly mystical space. When he came out of the water, he felt energized and invigorated. A wave of goosebumps ran through his body. The harsh aftertaste left by Mate Kuna's unsuccessful practice was completely gone.
Hush! Look!
Arthur looked in that direction and was stunned. The outline of someone's huge face was clearly visible in the fog.
What is that?
It's the spirit of the land, Ayami.
They prayerfully folded their hands in reverence, greeting her. And then the image began to slowly dissolve into the air. Arthur felt better than ever. He began to realize how hard it was to live in the city, and that nature brought him closer to God.
Hello. Do you want us to select a personal practice for you so that you can go through what the heroes of our cartoon experience?
Write to us and we will help. The link is in the description.
Do you dream of true love and harmonious relationships? I invite you into a space of transformation where the secrets of real love are revealed.
At our gathering, you will walk the path toward understanding your feminine and masculine power.
You will learn the ancient secrets of love and master tantric practices and ceremonies to attract a worthy partner.
Don't miss your chance to become happy.
Find our friends through the links in the description.